I
No, but
see.
maybe the crowd does.
We already got people in the live stream. Joyce is in the live stream. Jamie's in the live
Uh,
stream. Already waiting for us to get started, man. There's a line filling up there. What's
Sorry,
up,
we're 2 minutes
everyone?
late, guys.
Welcome
The
at
boys are back.
the Artist Coaching Podcast. And 2 minutes late, but hey, who's counting?
Fashionably late. That's
Ralph,
how they
old
call
school
it.
pixelized.
Hey, I don't want to get
Actually,
all cliche, but better late than never.
oh,
True.
yeah, I like it. It's cliche for a reason, huh?
That's
I'm actually on my phone internet now, whilst I because it's pretty busy here, and I thought yeah.
I can see that actually. I'm opening the YouTube live stream and I see 6 pixels. It's like Duke Nukem 3D all over again.
Oh, you can watch. Oh, I'm gonna watch ourselves also in the
But
YouTube.
seriously, how is it possible that the internet connection at your place is so shit?
Yeah,
Dude, it's on
I
my
wanted that
phone.
too.
No, it's not so shit. It's the router, and that's every now and then again just busts.
It's the
I have a
Live with
router.
theory.
Jay
I have a
Hardway,
theory.
Joey, the boomers section.
I have a
Holy
theory.
shit!
I
What's
think
I
Ralph cloned himself with AI and is doing the podcast through AI, and that's this. It's still not in the best quality.
we're talking
no,
to a bot. This is like version 1.0.
yeah, I can go on my normal connection.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, that's why you said when I said hello, you said hello, Bassi and Adrian.
This
Are you too
guy's
old for that,
Joey, you
Ralph?
really think this is funny? This is not funny at
yeah.
all.
You are just in too much of a children's environment right now, Jopke.
True, true.
Have you
Yeah,
left the
So what
house
have you
already?
been up to,
I have. I have.
Jopke?
Well, we've been doing stuff around the house, building some stuff and remodeling and small projects, but keeping myself busy. I've been playing a bit of golf here and there,
Surprising.
and I've been caring for the baby and the other baby that's 2 years old.
And how is
So
Hey,
it
and
so far?
how's the music going? Is there any upcoming J Hardway? It's time for a
no,
shameless
I
plug.
actually my plan is to coming months work on music and like not release or not at least I will still release music, but not force myself to release every month. And the plan is to create an album,
An album.
um, or at least that's like the goal. But I want to create like a new kind of sound or something that really represents me. And to find that the goal is to make an album and then see if I'm going to release an actual like big album or still do singles or
Why an album?
because I just have this then it's this project and I can like say hey I want to create 10 11 tracks or more and work on a sound and try that out to stimulate myself creatively in the studio.
Do you have a manager?
I do, yeah.
And what does the manager say?
It was her idea actually.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
What's your opinion on albums,
Is
Ralph?
that the tool? The tool needs a new manager, maybe.
No, I think it's just I I want to really love. I hear myself double still, it's so annoying. But I want to
Fine.
love what I make, and I want to make what I love. But it's like that's I need to find a sound that is in there already. I have some projects that are like um, yeah, a bit less commercial, let's say, and I want to explore that a bit more. And
An
I
album only makes sense if you do first 8 singles, then push them again on the album and make 3 others. And of those 3 others, 2 will tank for
yeah, but
sure.
like, what's the goal? That's what you should ask me. The goal is not to have success with this album. The goal is to reinvent myself creatively.
Okay. Shit, I have millions of streams. Fuck.
Fuck
That's
me.
not the goal.
Yeah, no,
You want
never,
you want to
never
spread a
was,
sound. You want to
never was.
share that passion, man. I think we're
Yeah,
full circle. We have been in this discussion before. Nobody wants to make music nobody listens to. The chances of your sound being heard whilst putting it out on an album all at once are so much
hmm
more slim than when you just
yep.
release them as singles.
Yeah,
So then
but
I
that's
would be
not.
like, if the goal is to make sure that the least amount of people will hear your music, then yes, go ahead. But if you want that nice sound that is you to be heard by the most possible amount of people, then I would recommend
But I don't
single.
know what that sound is at the moment.
No, I know, but
To
then you don't
reinvent
need to
that,
be thinking about an album at all.
it's like that's what I'm saying. It's not that the goal is to have eventually an album or release it in an album manner. It's like I want to set a project for myself that I can work
It
Yeah.
on,
does sound
reinvent myself,
interesting,
and
though.
then
I know a lot
yeah,
of artists, like Armin is supposed to be doing an album for the last 7 years. Dimitri Vegas also. I
Zed.
think we are also guilty of saying there's an album coming, but it never came. We did one, and but yeah, to be honest, just doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, I think what could help, and I think that's what Jobke means. What could help is that working on an album kind of makes it like a thing, right? So you can work towards 10 tracks in the same genre. You can experiment. You kind of grant yourself the room to experiment and to try new stuff. And in your mind, you kind of frame it as an album. But maybe in like business wise, it's not the smartest decision, as Ralph mentioned. But mentally, I think it can help to frame it as like, okay, I'm gonna work on this new sound. I'm gonna create 10, 15 tracks around that sound. And once all those tracks are done, then I'm gonna look at the business side of things and do I want to market it as an album or
yeah.
like J 2.0 or whatever you want to
I
call it.
remember a Jay Hardway track that I really liked. I'm not
What?
sure
That's
it did
unusual.
well. Yeah, there's one.
Whoa!
There is one.
My
Was the
life's
one with
complete.
Martin
I don't. I
Garrix?
don't. I'm just quitting music altogether. My life's.
No, at some point you
That
were
that
more a
Mars
little
hating
bit
you,
like,
Ralph loving your music, like circle,
and
full
then no, you
circle.
were
Full
more like
circle moment.
digitalism and stuff, and that was a cool era.
Was it like the CO track or the Somnia?
Um, no, before
Kind of like
Birdsong, or that's
a bit
COVID.
slower.
Well before that. Counting sheep, dude. What a
Yeah, it was a good track.
Tough times.
But I think what I've been doing
maybe
is
it's
like
lost. Could be.
what I've been doing over the past years is like I want to release a track every month, and that does help maybe business wise. But what it prevents me from doing is exploring myself creatively, because as soon as you're done with one track and all that comes with it with the release, you kind of hinder yourself the whole time. You don't have this room to explore
To
and to
play
experiment.
around.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's why the coming few months are a bit like, I mean, I also for my family, so it's like a good few months to have nothing really scheduled, apart from some shows, and then that gives me this room to be like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do?
Yeah. That makes sense. Like I always think
CEO.
about it as an artist. I think you want to schedule time to be creative and to be experimenting and thinking outside of the box, because that's where the progression is made and new stuff is being invented. And then once you've kind of nailed down the thing you want to focus on, then you go into production mode and like full steam ahead, pumping out 20 tracks. But I think the balance between those two things is kind of essential. I'm not sure, Ralph, how do you do that? Like, do you also have moments where you just grant yourself some time to be
No,
creative?
no,
Or
but I do agree. If you really want to invent something new, you should take some time for it.
yeah, because otherwise it's just, as you mentioned, Jay, like when one project is finished, you're continuously going like autopilot, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just production
Yeah,
mode.
and like with starting a family, you also realize there's it's non-stop, and like things keep interfering the whole time. And I noticed that creatively, it's hard to take um, that time to be like, now I'm just gonna
Yeah.
create, instead of like, oh, I need to master the record for next month, and then I'm working on that release that needs to be finished this week, and you're kind of like, you don't have time to then be creative, or at least I don't. So that's why I want to have some
Yeah.
few months where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna, I mean, who knows, maybe it doesn't work, and I'm like, you know what, I created nothing, but that's the freedom I give myself, and I think that's
Yeah.
allowing me to be creative.
Makes
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Like if I look at
But
myself,
I do agree with Ralph. Like albums, I don't think that's a smart business decision. We talked about Zed's album.
yeah,
I didn't
Oh,
check it
still
out
haven't
yet.
listened to
But
it.
me neither.
but it's also I didn't see it anywhere. I talked to Zed on Twitter a year ago, and he's like, I'm working on an album, so that's how I know it. But otherwise, I didn't see about it or hear it, or
Mm.
so it's not. Don Diablo did an album that also out of nowhere there's an album and you don't really know that it's there. So it's I agree with that. Business wise, it's not
Yeah.
the best decision in electronic music, I think.
Well,
I see Zed more in around the pool, doing exercises, chill out a bit, and going in the cold tubs, or how they are called.
the Wim Hof,
He does the cold
the
bathtubs,
cold
right?
plunges, cold
Yeah,
plunges.
Cold
those. Yeah,
plunges.
yeah.
Yeah, but like
He looks good
Jopke,
though.
what's funny is that I do it the same like
He
you
looks
do.
good, huh?
What?
He does. But it sounded
Yeah,
funny. It
he's kind
sounded
of
like
buff.
it sounded a bit like erotical. Like he looks good.
Oh, he must work out.
Yeah. No, but I try to do the same thing in my life as well. I try to schedule a few days every now and then where I take 2 or 3 days where I just go into the woods and have a walk, like just to kind of go out of
Creepy.
production mode.
Go
And
into the woods and have a wank. What? Did my internet break up?
no, like just go out and have a walk, kind of to create room in my head to think outside of the box and come with new ideas and like develop.
So the last half year, what was the best idea?
Set up, do a podcast with you every week.
Don't stop with the walks.
No, like, but
They're
really,
not working.
in a few last months, my schedule was so kind of stacked that I missed those days, and that also gives me the feeling of being like an autopilot, right? Like constantly doing the same shit different day, and that's what I don't like. I want to try to reinvent things or try to develop new stuff. And I need those days to get to those ideas, right? If you're in working mode, it's hard to be in creative mode.
For the last half year, we've been working only for the set Marlon would do this summer. Why are you laughing?
I'm
Joey?
just reading the comments like Joey is a real wankster. Wank in the woods is underrated. No,
Okay, so that's the level we're at.
that's the level. Yeah, we've
Is
reached
it
rock bottom
OnlyFans
again.
time again?
We've like 30 minutes. Nice.
No, but for us, the point for working towards was the live set of Marlon, and we were just always thinking about, okay, what do we want to hear here at this point, and what here, and it actually gave this beacons to work towards too, and also afbakening. I don't know how you say it in English. It actually gave you more a box to work
Yeah.
within, and
Like
that's also
a
really
dot on the horizon you can
Like a
work
goal.
towards.
yeah, and that was actually nice. Like, okay, here we need something 135 BPM and not too energetic, and here we need some a nice some emo vibes, and here we need this, and that actually gave us a lot of cool tracks. Like we did the Cornfield Chase, the Hans Zimmer one that's being supported by a lot of people, actually gave us also the Artemis bootleg because it was for a set you want to work with a lot of recognizable tunes, maybe some of the latest hits. Well, Artemis was just on the rising, and so that actually gave us a lot of cool things that got supported also a lot by a lot of DJs. And but to be honest, it's not the next new sound.
I think
It's built on top all shit that already exists. But
Yeah.
we did in the process manage to find something that's a little bit more old school Bassjackers meets new school EDM era.
But I think
yeah.
it's interesting that you said like that to have that beacon or that goal to work towards, because that's kind of, I think we talked about this before, and it's like I would in my career never really set specific goals like I want to reach that much followers, but kind of like a goal like this that I'm doing now, like I want to create an album. and I don't know if it's going to bring me to an actual full album, but I want to see where that takes me. But then you have something to work towards, and that's something that it's sometimes very hard to set specific goals. And I think you also maybe wouldn't have the goal of like, we want to reinvent the classic Bassjacker sound or like that techno-y sound, but it happened when you were working on your towards your goal. And that's
No,
something
definitely,
where
yeah.
if you're beginning as well, you can't really say, oh, you can say like, hey, Tomorrowland main stage, that's where I want to play. That could be a goal. And then you play some other festivals, and then you realize, oh, maybe that's not for me, but you adjust. But it's good to have that that thing in the
Dot on the horizon. Yeah, and it's also better
yeah,
because in the process we actually made so much new music that at some point we made a track and we were like, oh, this is so cool, and it will be this and that and blah blah blah. 2 months down the road, actually got eliminated from the set. Then you're gonna get into your kill your darlings process.
Yeah.
That's actually what you should have. So maybe in that respect, working towards an album, have like 24 tracks, picking out 10 of them is actually good, because yeah, at some point you will realize like, okay, I was very enthusiastic about this, but now we're a month along down the road. The only thing is, an album just takes up so much time. By
Yep.
at the moment you're finished, some of the shit will be sounding old because the world has changed. And like I said before the podcast started, the world don't wait.
Yep.
No, but that's
Which is
something that
actually a
it's
good
good to
title
step
for an
away.
album.
It's
Hardway,
it's
the world don't
totally
wait.
right. Yeah, it's you're totally right. But I think that kind of pressure you always put on yourself because the world isn't waiting. That's what I kind of want to get rid of for a while. To have like, hey, I'm doing my thing. I don't care if it's obsolete music in a year or so. I just want to try this, and then I'm
That's
not
what Seth said
concerned
as
about.
well, right? Like, just get loose of the algorithms, get loose of what other people think or what the trend is. Like, fully focus on what you want to create and what you
Yeah,
think is nice without any boundaries or
yeah,
constraints.
yeah,
I truly understand. I truly believe that the experimental phase is underrated as an artist, and I think the more successful you get, the more you tend to forget that that's where the success comes from. As in, you kind of get trapped in this working mode because more and more work
yeah,
gets dropped onto your lap, right? And you kind of forget that those moments where you could experiment and discover and try new stuff, that's actually the root of where everything started. So
yeah.
granting,
Some people, I think, like Ralph, can manage that like
yeah, true.
kind of work environment where you have all these kind of tasks and a family and all these things, and but you kind of can. I find that very difficult to then be like creative or hey, what do I really want to make or really put
Yeah.
out as J Hardway? So I need to just
I
yeah.
think you could see
Hey,
it as a
but
retreat.
for an album, but actually didn't check it. I'm gonna check it now for sure. He's been doing an album just for doing, or it just. But man, the people he works with, Jeff Buckley, John Mayer, fucking
Oh, I
Muse,
heard the John Mayer song. It was in
Who's
my
that?
it was
D
in my New
Miller.
Music Friday.
Man, that's insane.
Yeah, was a pretty decent collab, to be honest. I liked it. I had my John Mayer week last week.
I was talking about Z.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
you've been
Yeah.
romantic as
Yeah, man.
OnlyFans.
Like I don't know. Maybe it's the autumn coming in, but I just felt like I needed John Mayer in my life. So yeah,
Nice.
and now I'm into the blues mode. So I'm just constantly listening to blues music.
You
Oh,
know
that's
who's
the
knocking on the
depressing
door
mode.
already?
Santa
Michael Bublé. He will be there
Yeah.
very
and
soon,
Mariah Carey.
Man.
out of his cave.
You do
You
know
know,
I have the
this brings me
best
to
I have
another.
the best playlist for Christmas tunes ever.
The boss Christmas.
Boss Christmas. It's truly
I got it.
amazing. Shameless plug.
Oh,
Boss Christmas. Look it up.
I thought it
I'll
was.
just
By
share it in the chat. I played it last year as well. Must
Um,
say, pretty decent.
this does bring me, like talking about Mariah Carey. This does bring me to something that I find very annoying in this day and age of TikTok. I saw a TikTok of a guy who steps out the door and then he's locking
I
the door and
I
you
think
hear
that
like
one is funny.
the Mariah Carey in the distance,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then oh, she's coming or whatever. Okay, funny, very amazing content. But then I see that exact same type of content, the exact same script with hundreds and hundreds of content makers. and this is what annoys me so much, is because people aren't trying to even create funny stuff anymore. They just try to create what's popular, and then they see, oh, this is going viral, I need to make this as well, and then not even like their own twist on it. No, the exact same thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, I just want to touch down on that. That's annoying me.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing, right? Everybody's doing it for themselves as well, and it's nice to be on the same trend all simultaneously. But I do get it. Yeah, the joke has been made. On to the
Yeah,
next one. But I actually thought it was a funny one. Yeah.
it was funny.
Yeah.
But then who's the first one? We will never
Ah.
know. You will never get the credit for creating the first version. And
Yeah.
Dude,
It
but
was
just
me actually.
what's insane
oh
to me,
wow,
what's
Yeah, I
insane
didn't
to me
post it.
about
I only
that
showed it to
you
somebody.
only in group chats you sent it.
No, I don't like that. Ugh, I don't like the fame.
what's insane, what's insane
That's
to
why
me.
you block yourself with pixels.
Yeah, am I still so
It's getting better.
pixelated?
No, it's getting better now. It's
Ah,
getting better.
What's getting better?
The quality of
well,
Ralph's
not your
face.
listening skills, dude.
Slowly but steady. Yeah.
Hey, any questions?
Yeah, we have questions, but something I wanted to. No, let's just get into the questions. By the way,
I also, by the way, I told everybody that I would drop the YouTube link in the comments of what I was talking about last time, but I couldn't find the damn video.
of which
I
last
Damn
stream.
it.
Well, I talked about this guy that reviews the War of Art and then says how you can use the resistance in your everyday life to. And I was like, I'm gonna find that video, but I couldn't find it. No matter how I was looking for half an hour, couldn't find it.
I
So
call bullshit.
no, I really did. I couldn't
Okay.
find them anymore.
Ah,
But
no
it's
worries.
also hard because you only get like very popular videos or advertised videos
Yeah.
or recent videos. You can't really say. Maybe this was in 2017 or something. I don't know, or 18, 19. Don't know when I seen it, so it's lost
Um,
forever to the
there's a
interwebs.
Yeah.
there's a question from Melodramatic. What are your thoughts on someone creating a bootleg of an unreleased track before it was released and say it got a lot of attention on social media? Would you embrace and welcome it, or would you be angry? So before, like, let's say you upload a preview or you played it in your set and someone makes a remix of it already and then it gets out.
Would I
I
be
don't
mad
mind.
or what?
Sorry?
No, yeah, the more the merrier. Let's go.
Yeah, so you wouldn't mind.
No, not at all. Yeah, it needs to be different. Doesn't need to be the same track remade, but
Yeah, but then it's copying. That's different.
yeah. No,
Okay.
if somebody does a remix and it gets big, that's
By the
nice.
way,
Then you
Ralph,
can release it.
you inspired someone because I got someone in my inbox last week who told me that he was working on a track called Fuck the Suits and he made like a whole
Hey,
lyric, like lyrics, everything included about labels and fuck the suits. Like, so yeah, you
fuck
can
him.
you can
Just make
expect,
Fuck
sure
the
to give
suits.
Ralph some points
yeah,
on the
like
song.
Oh no,
10%.
you can and hey, take the hashtag, make it big.
Yeah, hashtag fuck the suits.
Yeah.
Question from him. Question for Ralph and Jopke about having a business manager. Do you have a business manager and how does it help? And is it necessary or could a day-to-day manager handle the same tasks? So, Multi, like, do you have one and does it help? And is it necessary?
I want to have a clear definition of business manager before
I
we
would say
get
just a
into it.
regular manager who takes care of your business.
No, in the old ways, a business manager is actually the one that handles all the fiscal stuff and the finances around doing bookings, and it's quite complicated because you're just one girl or a guy or two girls and a guy or whatsoever, and yeah, you can be a duo, a threesome. Hey, OnlyFans.
Two
And
girls, one cup.
no, but you're an entity and you play in a lot of countries. Every time something like sex comes up, you're gonna laugh like
Teenage
you're
boys.
five
Yeah,
year
that's
five-year-old.
who we
But
are.
hey, whatever. So it's kind of complex. You go around the world, you play in, let's say, 31 different countries, which all have their different system, and you get all text upfront. It's withholding tax, and they get it at the source, and that's you as a performer. And that makes it all complicated to do. So then a business manager comes in and they handle all the shit, make sure everything that gets represented, and all the formalities, they handle everything, and they take a piece of the pie, and could be that it's like 2% or maybe 5%, or they just get a regular fee. But usually there are suits which come with a really high price tag. But it's necessary, especially when you don't know the shit yourself. We started out with getting consults by this guy in Holland, and I made sure, because also because of my background as a financial manager, I made sure that I could do it more and more myself. Which now ends up that I do like most of the stuff myself, and just a little bit. Especially, I don't have the connections. I don't know the people in the States or Canada or whatsoever. And sometimes you do need somebody who has those networks. So yeah, you always need to find some good expert consulting for
Yeah,
all that shit.
But is it necessary? Like when
Yeah,
does
if
like
you
only
I
get
when
think
you
to a
so.
certain point, it's really
Yeah,
yeah only
necessary.
when you start
if you get
touring,
big
right?
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're like only touring in your country, it's pretty manageable, or Europe maybe even if you're from Europe.
Yeah,
But if you
Europe is
go
also
abroad
management.
or
Yeah,
further,
manageable.
it gets complicated fast, and also like you just need a financial person, advisor that knows their shit, and also knows their shit specifically about artists, because it's a certain type of niche, let's say, like where certain rules do. Tax is always very tax. So taxes are always very complex, and I think
And not only that,
sometimes
yeah,
sometimes the tax service asks questions, and I wouldn't have a clue how to answer it, or I do know how can I say this? That financial advisor speaks the same language. They know how to, in tax terms, explain what has happened or how the withholding tax works in that country, because your own tax service doesn't always know the ins and outs, which is um, crazy. But yeah, you need someone who definitely knows their shit. Also, because you need to trust them, and yeah, you want to make sure you file all your taxes properly, because you don't
it's
want to be.
actually what I'm doing
Um,
right now, because here I have all these papers. I have here my
yeah, Wednesday is your tax day,
Yeah,
right?
it's always tax day
Wednesday
on
every
Wednesday.
week. Every other week is my tax day. No, but also you play in Canada. There's this promoter, and you have withholding tax there. It's usually 15 or 24%. Let's say 24%. So that means you make $10,000 for a show, and 2,400 has to go to the tax people. And
You need someone to calculate that it's that amount.
no, but you don't know. Yeah, you don't know if anybody, or if the promoter is also really paying that amount to the tax people. There's a better word probably for it. So what has happened to
Tax
us
office.
is that we were like, okay, it's probably paid, but it wasn't paid, but it did get held off of our revenue, and then you're just fucked. You get a fine for late filing and whatsoever. And because that happened maybe around 2014, and came to light in like 2017, and then we got for 3 years we got a late filing fee, which is $2,500
Mm,
Canadian dollar.
mm.
And you know, and then because somebody, a promoter you don't know, didn't file correctly or didn't pay, that actually our bookings fee was just gone on paying taxes and late filing fees and whatsoever. And that shit can happen.
Isn't that something you can put in the contract that they are that they have to pay
Dude,
for the
a
taxes?
contract, you can put in the contract what you like, but
Anything,
if
yeah.
there's somebody not paid, what are you gonna
Yeah.
do? fly
but
over there, say, "Hey, dude,
yeah, but can't you
look at this
chase them, or
contract."
can't your agency chase the booker and
Of
say,
course,
hey,
they can chase
You
what they
can, and
want,
they
but
will, and they
hey,
sometimes
sometimes the promoter has moved, or he's
yeah.
doing I don't know what. He's a popper
Yeah.
in Cancun at some point. I don't know.
I also
They're
think
just gone. Yeah,
in this case it's important. Well, you do have, but to have a good agent that will also make sure they work with the right people. And then what Ralph Mir is saying, still you get people that, screw you over, or like Ralph said, out of nowhere disappear. They usually then get blacklisted, so they won't be
what's
worked with
important,
anymore by the agency.
but it's with
Um,
everything, is you either make sure you learn what you have to do, or you pay somebody who knows what they have to do. And but the problem with this one is, how can you control or see if they are doing it right if you don't know the matter at all? That's
Mhm.
the hard part, because you think like, oh, my guy is doing the right thing. No, not at all. There have been
yeah,
countless of examples of people who thought they had a good construction and they got fined. And I'm
yeah.
not going to name names, but it's the big names also. And yeah, the best way is just to take your responsibility as being
I do think
yeah,
in the tax service, you should have a bit of awareness of, is this legal? Is this gray area? Because like myself, as soon as you start making more money, also people advise you out of nowhere and want to become your advisor.
yeah.
I have a pretty good sense of like, ooh, this person, what he's trying to do, it's a bit gray area. I don't want to get near that. I want to be very clear with
No,
my
Mhm.
taxes. So that's something you have to also kind of develop. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people that have huge tax, like got fined or whatever, they kind of knew they were in the gray
yeah,
area.
that's also the case,
Um,
because they will go, no, you have to do your label in Guernsey, and then
yeah,
make
yeah,
this in Cyprus, and that will be, and then you can
yeah,
your marketing budget you can do like this, and you pay less, and like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
exactly.
dodgy as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dodgy.
don't
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, be
There's
glad
Uh,
that you can pay a little bit of taxes, and
yeah.
don't be so yeah,
Yeah, and
greedy
just
about
realize
it.
that if you're gonna make more money, you're gonna lose more money, not just with taxes. You're gonna pay more taxes in most countries, but also like there is gonna be more cases of, if you do more shows, there's gonna be more cases where the stuff with the withholding tax goes wrong. So you just have to kind of calculate
Yeah,
for that, and that's also a good thing. If you make more money, don't think like, oh, now
yeah.
I can buy this big ass car. No, you need a lot of money in the bank to just like survive for the next few years, because you don't know what tax comes
Yeah.
Yeah.
the year later. And so
But I
be,
gotta say, also within your agency and management, a lot of the people don't know that shit, and you really have to get good consultation,
Mm.
and then don't trust that consultation. Also, you gotta learn over time and make sure you can see if they're really doing a good job. What are they actually doing? Because,
yeah,
dude, they ask the hourly wage is
it's
insane.
you always have to make sure that you are responsible. And I saw a TikTok about a comparison with a bird. A bird, if they land on a branch, do they trust the branch or do they trust their wings? And that's very clever,
Hmm.
because it's like, if the branch breaks, the bird knows I can still fly. That's what you have to do.
Good tip. Good
So
tip.
That's a good tip. Yeah.
be the
Question.
bird, man. Be
So
the
Question
how does
bird.
a
from.
monkey do that? Because they also use the branches, but they
Hey,
cannot fly.
exactly. So they have to somehow trust on some other, I don't know, momentum. So they like grab the branch. Oh, it breaks. I can still make it to that
No,
branch.
it's that you, especially, you're gonna get in contact with a lot of branches, and make sure you learn about the branches, and don't be like, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a question in the YouTube chat from Seb Lemaitre. How much time do an artist should spend on actual producing in regards to promoting and developing social media?
There's a formula for this,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
it's the exact formula. You can look it up on jhardway.com.
Slash
No,
buy
if
my
only there
course.
was an exact formula for this, but this is different for every artist, for every
Yeah.
It's really that you can't put
Yeah.
one.
It also
There
really
are
depends
those
on
that
what.
You
make a
can,
track
yeah.
within a day, and there are those that need a week. Yeah, it will be different for everybody. But if you have a track, yeah, then you're gonna go promote it. Yeah.
But
I want to
some
state
artists.
one thing, by the way. We are not financial advisors. So
No,
anything that we said about finances, we are not financial advisors. And
no, we're not
I just
advisors
realized that
at
we
all.
have to say
Actually,
that
we are
before
full
you.
of shit.
Ralph
And if
just
you're
said.
still listening,
Ralph said
you
that
need
he was
to.
like
Oh,
fully educated on economy and
Yeah, but he's not an
finances.
official licensed advisor. Just so
No, he's
so
not.
we're
no,
clear
no,
on that.
no,
Yeah.
no, no.
No, but like with in regards to social media and producing and dividing your time, like I think it's especially different for everyone because I know artists who really schedule content time, who say like my Tuesdays are my content days.
Yeah, we had Tim Hawks last week.
Yeah,
He really
exactly.
schedules in. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have artists who kind of do it on the go, who are better with their stories and stuff, and like do it on the go. We have artists like who forget about it at all. Like there's all type of artists, and I think it's all about finding what works for you. If you prefer to schedule it and to make pre-made content, um, then that's the way to go. And if you're more about doing it in the moment or on the spot, like then that's the way you should do it. But really look at what works for you and what works in your schedule, I would say.
Yeah,
Wow,
well
you're
said.
so wise, man.
Oh man,
It's
truth
actually
bombs.
weird. You should have like this big beard and a
Processing
staff.
it. Actually shaved this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Didn't
need a
do.
new shaver.
No, I
Oh,
trim. I trim.
Oh, you trim.
uh,
Ah,
Question
nice.
for the boys. Did you ever reach a point where you truly wanted to quit music production?
No,
no,
no.
Okay.
no.
And if so,
I think
why?
it's if you're making music, and if you started like me out of pure hobby, pure like I want to make music, you will never think I will not make music. Maybe I thought about, is this career for me before I like had my breakthrough? Maybe well, not even. No, I don't ever think I thought that. I just
Oh, it
this
did
is
have
me,
some
man.
times that,
Sure.
but then, or sometimes it's just hard, to do what you do, and sometimes stuff just, you get a little bit of bad times, or shit's just not going your way, and then you just get agitated and frustrated, and I don't know what. But then you think of the alternative, and that's an honest day work.
Yeah.
That's just not
Yeah, I
for
have to
me.
say, I sometimes had moments where I was like, shouldn't I have been easier off with a 9 to 5 job? And then you think about it for like 2 minutes and like,
I do have to
nah.
say, I think working in a company with a lot of colleagues and stuff,
It's
going
nice.
that you have to represent something or give a presentation about what you've been doing and all that kind of stuff, actually seems like a lot of fun.
Hmm.
I kind of miss that because now you're just always responsible for your own shit, and you can make your own decisions. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of have to say why you did something, and but most of the time, yeah,
Uh,
it's also nice when people can. There's like a lot of people that are critical about you. Yeah.
That's also one of the reasons why, um, like, I'm also looking to do like an extra location in the city center because of that, as in just being surrounded with people and having someone to talk to in between sessions. Because right here we're pretty isolated. We're in an old farm in the middle of nowhere, which has a lot of advantages, but at the same time it also could become lonely. And like, what also really helps me is to kind of talk to other people. That helps to inspire me or to get me outside of my own thought process. So having colleagues and stuff is definitely something I think a 9 to 5 could bring, and having some like other inspirational stuff and having people looking at your work and getting feedback and stuff. I think that could really be helpful. Yeah.
It's also the main thing, what I think is fun. If you did something together with your manager, you came up with a plan and it worked, certain campaign, or with your agent, you had a tactic and it worked. That's the most fun things. Even when with like music, when you like something blows up, I think about who I was with at the time. So I'm not like, oh, I made that track and it was amazing. No, I was like, oh, then I went to that show with that tour manager, and so I think it's working together, yeah, on a daily basis is hugely important, and that makes it sometimes difficult to be um, on your own
True.
as an artist in that little studio.
Lonely. I am so lonely.
Lonely.
Good
I
track.
am so lonely.
And here's a question from Josh, and this is one that I've heard often in the last few weeks. It's about ADE, and I'm not sure how involved you are or what you know about ADE, but it looks like there's a lot less events this year in comparison to last year. Less parties in the night and very few networking events. Have you also noticed this, or is Josh just
I'm
struggling?
so not busy with ADE. I have no
Same.
clue.
No, no, I just heard it from a lot of people that there's that
Is
the
this
amount.
Josh Le Tessier?
Yeah.
Yes.
He has the coolest name, man. But he sent me a track, and the dude is good. It sounded really good.
Nice.
I'm a big fan.
Which one? Last one or
No, yeah, he sent one in my
or
inbox,
bootleg?
and of course I listened to it every
I have
listen to
Josh in
almost
my
all the shit.
in-flight these days. In-flight promo service. So it's amazing.
Where is he?
Josh?
Josh has a in-flight for himself, which is quite smart because I subscribe to him and now I get his promos through in-flight.
Ah,
Which is
he,
in-flight is a promo service that
yeah.
a lot of labels also
Oh,
use.
here he is. System
Um,
overload. It's a demo.
but when it comes to ADE, what I've noticed is it's a lot of industry people that are on the suits that talk about this is how it's going to be. This is the new trends. We all know
Yeah.
exactly what is happening, and then a year later, it's exactly not that. So it's like
I've been
maybe
always
that's why
so
there's less
laughing,
now.
yeah, laughing about, especially when I came to Miami. I saw all these people, and they were actually, for me, the ones who are significant are the ones who create. But then you had all these suits, and they came together, and they were not significant. They wouldn't have any impact if you would put them all in a room. It just doesn't matter. But I always imagined that person X or person Y, they had a meeting like poo poo, work, work, work. We have a meeting and it's at 10. Oh, I have to hurry.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they came together and they sit down for half an hour. All these great ideas they cannot make themselves. And then they go home and like, oh, honey, oh man, it was so productive and so nice. But they just weren't
yeah,
significant. It wouldn't
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
make a ripple in all
yeah,
the pond. And that always made me laugh. Like 98% of all the people, they were just doing nothing there. It just
yeah,
that, but they had a nice time, and that's also important. But it's just funny when you think about it.
yeah.
And why would you need the suits then? As in, there should be a reason why they're here, right?
There are some important suits, and they're like gatekeepers, and those suits you need to polish them.
How do you recognize those suits?
The mostly the more expensive suits,
What I always
or the
think is like
really nonchalant suits.
you have you have like the label side, which is always a bit like that's very political, very like like the suits kind of decide, and it's a political game, so it's like difficult. What I do see with ADE, like all the agents meet with a lot of promoters, and that's not, of course, there's also politics there, but it's also a lot about, hey, which artist do we want to book for next year? So then there's actually some business being talked to, and I think that's a good thing with ADE when
Yeah, definitely.
um, people that actually do business with each other see face to face, and that always is good for the longevity of the relationship.
But to be honest, agents and especially promoters, they're making stuff happen, and
Yeah, exactly. They're the
yeah,
suits that you need, if you could call them suits. But like a promoter also doesn't really care about. He just wants to make money and he wants to put a good product out there, a good festival, and
yeah,
um,
they're
yeah,
also about most of them actually go into this business because they liked the product. They were
yeah,
people who were a lot at a lot of parties. They like the music. They're actually invested. They have some passion. And actually, that's an important part of the whole business cycle, let's call it like that. And actually, like promoters, they're of course, they also need to make
I
money.
love
So
promoters. Every promoter listening, I love you guys.
yeah, guys, hey, you,
I do think those
but
like
you,
network meetings, as in the, let's say, the boost.
Bassjackers.com.
I think
Info. What's your agent's email, man?
I
Navi.
think those meetings that you mean, and especially during ADE, you also see a lot of those meetings. I think the power of those meetings is that it's all about like strengthening the relationship. It's all about like just meeting each other again, creating a memory together, and kind of deepening the relationship, so that when you want to book someone or whatever, you kind of trust the person and you kind of favor the person to give him that booking or to give him that option or whatever. um, so I think we've talked about this before, but when it comes down to networking and stuff, it's more about creating friends, right? It's more about creating relationships that you want to build on. And those relationships need trust. And the only way how you can build that is when you get to know each other better. So,
Yeah, and it's you email if you email someone and you
yeah,
know them or you drank a beer with them,
it's
it's
different.
it's just way easier to email them. You can say like, "Hey, how's the kids? How's the dog?"
Exactly.
It just it
But
becomes
that's
you
what I
have a
mean.
face in front of
That's
you.
what I mean with deepening the relationship. That nowadays a
Deepening.
lot of relations are over email.
He said deepening.
In Amsterdam.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, fuck it. Question comes in from Ozan Karabaki in the YouTube chat. Hey guys, nice session. Joey, I've asked a question to Ralph in the Discord under the name of Simpsons. I wonder if you already read it. Let me check. Where is it?
My
To
hair is
Ralph.
so
Oh,
poofy,
here.
man.
There it. Well, oh, it's. Oh, dude, that's long. Oh, it's last week. Yep. Question to Ralph. I'm a part of a DJ producer duo, and I'm in a phase where things are about to get serious, and I would like to hear how bassjackers share their income.
50-50.
There you go. Follow-up question. Does Ralph get income from Marlo's DJing? Yeah, that's already answering 50-50. Um, yeah, that's the question. So 50-50. Yeah. So
Everything
I
50-50.
is it,
looking at Ralph and Marlon from the outside, by the way, they are. This sounds weird, but they have a very strong relationship, and it's very clear to them
very deepening.
how they work together.
Oh man,
Figure
we've deepened.
figure that out before things actually get serious. Maybe even make a contract. How much do you trust the person that you're gonna work with? Because these things, like I've seen, I know Ralph and Marlon for a while now, and they've had some conflicts here and there, but they always very much are, yeah, loyal to each other and like have a very
Yeah,
clear
yeah, it's
understanding of what they're
100% trust.
doing it for. Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah,
relationship,
but
right?
I also know Marlon from before. We grew up together. And no, but the thing is, if you would have if you would make it like uneven, like the one will come in a Ferrari and the other one will drive a Fiat, that will always give friction. It's go home and go out together, without the productions, Marlon wouldn't be playing, and without Marlon playing, I wouldn't make so much money. Yeah, we need
Yeah.
each other, and be strict about it. Yeah, we had some discussions, quite a lot actually, and about how the division of work should be, because it doesn't. It's not only DJing and not only doing productions. There's so much that comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like, yeah, dude, fuck that. I can't do that. You should be doing that, and that's how the
I also
discussion
think
level is.
what's very important, but in any also like relationship, like a love relationship, you shouldn't compare the amount of work or what kind of work you do, because you can't really, and especially in the case of like you too, you can't really say that
No,
touring is harder than providing all the music and being in the studio every day. And otherwise, also, Marlon can't say you can't
It's
compare it. You
different.
need to
Yeah.
be very clear on that. You can never compare. You can never know what the other
Yeah.
no.
goes through. But that's that trust, that you just trust that you're both putting in the same amount of effort.
Yeah,
True.
but you do. I mean, at some point, stuff doesn't work as it should be, and then you're gonna talk about, okay, like whose responsibility is this gonna be for the future? Because somebody needs to take ownership over a certain aspect of the business,
Hmm.
and also accountability. So it's okay that he says at some point, like, dude, why didn't you do this? And if I don't have, yeah, I could be slacking, and he as well, and you need accountability also, and you should just do your shit, and you should be able to count on each other to for everybody doing their part. And if something doesn't work, then you just talk about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, sometimes you had like this big discussion, but we always said never stop talking, because then
Hey, this just
it's
sounds
done.
like a great
Yeah,
marriage.
Like a marriage.
yeah. I always
It's
say it's my
actually
first marriage, and yeah, it's a sexless marriage, so no deepening there.
oh.
Yeah. Well, he's an attractive guy. I mean, yeah,
He's buffed.
yeah. I mean, if you've seen his body, dude.
Yeah, man. Question from Bit3. How do you deeper? How do you make those relationships deeper?
Nice.
It's all about what we just talked about, as it. Dude.
I'm 16 years old. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe not even.
No, it's really what we just talked about. It's all about like having conversations with each other, creating memories, like investing time and energy into each other, actually
Oh,
listening
this
to
doesn't work.
the other person, not just asking for stuff, but also giving
Yeah.
stuff. It's about all those things, you know. It's really how you build relationships in your real life with your friends as
Yeah.
well. It's
And
exactly the same.
And a contract in that case isn't weird. I mean, a marriage is also a contract, you know. So it's like, yeah, that can also make that relationship deeper. Or at least you have on paper like, hey, this is what we expect from each other, and can also help.
Do you have an open? You guys aren't married, right?
Me and Joey?
No, I'm not married.
No. Oh, you have wives.
I have girlfriends.
Oh,
Girlfriends.
I
Yeah.
thought you were together, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a question from
Yeah,
Martin
but you guys aren't
Stevenson.
married.
Nope,
No, not married.
Why not?
that's a whole other rabbit hole to go
Yeah,
into.
okay, that's for next time then.
For next time, let's just park
Okay.
that. Um,
Then we're really a boomer.
how do you
podcast.
guys balance the artist life, family life, and social life, and maybe even education?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
difficult, man. I think that's
Is there a
as soon
balance?
as you let's say let's put it this way, for me, as soon as you have kids, it's hard work to balance it.
But
And
it
you
also
have
becomes
to,
easier, to be honest, because there's more routine.
yes, but
No,
everything,
you have to
single
be.
thing needs to be
Wait
planned.
until they have to go to school, man. Then you'll be at. I every day. I actually also don't mind. I think it's just as hard or not hard as before. Every day at around 8:20, I walk to school with my daughter on her bicycle. And oh, you're laughing at it. How hard it is. Yeah, really?
No, just the
Yeah,
way you
dude,
said.
the level is already gone, so why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but every day I walk to school with my daughter, and she goes on her little bicycle. And at first it was the step, and later on it will be something different. And then yeah, that's the start of my day. Then I go to her window of her class, and I'm gonna wave like a dickhead and be on my way. And if my son has to go to kindergarten, I bring him before that, and then come home, bring my daughter, and then go home, and then take the car, drive approximately 1.5 kilometer to my job, which I could do perfectly on the bicycle, but I don't. And yeah, then plug it in because it's an electric car. Then go inside, have some coffee, do a poop. No, that's it.
No, but it's really, I think what you see,
I
what
like
you
that. That's
mean.
the answer to how do you balance your artist life.
No,
It's
but
like
it's
the exact
like
breakdown.
what
This is
Joey
exactly how I balance
says.
it.
It gives
Monday
you
morning.
structure.
It's
No, because
structure.
they
Yeah,
have
true,
to
true,
be.
true, true,
They have to
true.
be somewhere,
Well,
and well, you
no,
don't
true.
have to be, but they have, and
But
that's actually
what
perfect start.
what makes it different for me is like I never was a big planner of events, and now you have to plan, which is I'm not complaining. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because what I think kids is having kids is the best thing ever. But it's just you
Mhm.
have to plan everything, and so you also have to plan hanging out with friends and having like
That
that
depends.
just
That depends
becomes a
because
bit
I don't
difficult.
have to necessarily. But that I think
What?
that
Well,
depends on what type.
you can't just leave the house and leave your kids if they're asleep.
No,
You kind of
you have to.
Joey
you have
does.
to plan
Somebody
with your
needs to.
girlfriend
Somebody needs to be home. But when my girlfriend
yeah,
is home, I can be like I regularly have like spontaneous drinks or whatever.
that's man,
I can now totally see you
no.
walking in the woods, having a little wank, and go about. Oh shit, the kids are at home. Fuck.
No, no, no. But I truly believe that the balance comes from structure. Like the balance comes from knowing that your week is scheduled in a way that you can spend time on the things that are important to you, as in maybe it's workouts, maybe it's social time, maybe it's music time, maybe it's work hours.
I do have to plan though, like Jopke
It's
says.
really about bringing structure into your calendar. I think that's a big
Yeah, but that's
reason.
why I struggle with it because I find that
Yeah.
Nah, I
difficult.
get it though.
I never used to work like that before. I
Because
would
your
just
kids are so young, that makes it
Yeah.
that's the tropical years. Hey, but you know what's funny? I actually think about now. My oldest one is 5, and some of the
oh, five.
videos,
Wow,
yeah, the some of the
that's
videos
fast.
we have online, she doesn't have YouTube on her iPad for good reason.
Yeah.
And but also some of the videos we have, like the still is like these big boobs or something, girls kissing, and there's shit happening, and she's
Huh?
gonna see that like, huh?
Well,
Oh,
I completely.
Bassjackers
I'm not
videos, you
talking
mean?
about OnlyFans. It's our videos. If you see
Oh,
the
your
one of
music
Dirk,
Bassjackers
videos.
the
music videos.
still,
Oh,
the
okay. I
still of
completely
that
lost
one
you.
has
Yeah.
like these big boobs, and so that will be what daddy does. That's gonna be weird, because all the kids, they have fathers or mothers that have jobs like they work somewhere in retail, or he's a fireman, and a nurse or whatever. But my profession is actually pretty visible, and also a little bit, yeah, okay, it's me. And that's gonna be a weird part though. Yeah.
There's the chat's going crazy. Everyone's having a poop now.
Hey, everybody poops.
Exactly. No, but
What?
I truly believe that that's like structure in your life is a good thing to bring balance. Um,
He's talking right over it,
right over it.
Yeah.
Grovel says my duo ex-partner cheated on me with my girlfriend that time after 10 years of working together. So the trust in duos is kind of gone for me.
Yeah, that's tough,
Yikes.
man.
That's a
Yeah,
tough
no,
one.
tough luck.
Yeah.
That's very tough. That's you're gonna at least learn from it, and it will take some time before you regain trust in. I don't know how recent it happened, but you're gonna take a long time before you regain trust in the world, in anything.
And
But you're
girls.
gonna have a new kind of defense system for it because you see the signs. You won't fall for the same trap again. Although with relationships, like it's always
Oh,
difficult. Love is tricky. Love is tricky.
Love is blinding. Hey guys, for everyone who is coming to ADE and who doesn't has tickets for our event yet, because there's 2 left.
bring your girlfriend.
2. There's not too
2.
much. Only
Holy
2
moly.
left. Yeah, almost sold out. So if you are on the verge of considering to come, make sure to
Whoa,
go
look
over
how
and to
the
grab those
detail.
tickets.
I
Huh?
can see my fingerprint, man.
Oh man, you're gonna steal
Well,
it.
we see pixels, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
You can now get into Ralph's studio with his
Yeah,
fingerprint
exactly.
scanner.
But if you
Gold.
are on the verge of going to our event, make sure to grab them as quickly as possible because they will be gone soon.
Can you still
Uh,
talk?
Martin Stevenson, yes, there is an event. You can find it on our socials. It's called the Munch and Mingle. And as I said, there's just a few tickets left. So make sure to grab them if you want. And
I like this one of
anything
yours,
to
Joppe.
shill? Anything to shill, guys?
Anything to what?
To shill.
Oh
Chill.
yes, definitely. This Friday, Set
the
Me
cell.
Free, the new record of Bassjackers and Westback. I never know how to pronounce his name because in Dutch it's called a Wasbak.
Huh?
But he's a cool guy. And
Sing.
there's a new record coming. It's a cover of Kylie's
Hey,
hit
is the
single.
record called Let That Sink In? That would be so funny.
Wasbach, let it sink in.
True.
Okay, so
No,
new
but
track.
this
Jay?
Friday, just go to www.bassjackers.com. Make sure to follow us on all socials, on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, doesn't matter. And you're sure be one of the first to be able to check out our new record. You know?
Jay, anything to show?
To what? What are you saying? Shell?
Shill.
Chill. Dude.
How do you
don't be
spell
so
that?
old.
Do you live under a rock or like
Yeah.
Yes.
Chill.
Boomer.
SHILL. Chill.
shilling?
I hope. I
Never
don't
heard
know.
of it. Never heard of it.
Nothing?
No, I have
Question.
nothing. I have a new baby and I am living the best life.
Okay. Question, like honest question to both of you. Do you guys track your visitors on your website? How many people visit? No? Because I'm curious how many people, if you still have a lot of visitors on your own website.
I will check now.
Yeah.
We have the most visited website.
1 million.
Confirmed.
1 million
Confirmed.
I
in a
don't know,
year.
man. I don't even know how
Yeah,
to check
I
it.
have the most visited website. It's confirmed.
Yeah. It's onlyfans.com/jhard.
Okay. I will get back to that later, but I truly that's I question, like, do people still visit DJ websites?
How
Yes,
can I
because
check
I don't have my bookings on there at the moment, and I sometimes get the question like, "Hey, man, I can't see your bookings on your tour on your website." And I think I've looked at other DJs to see how they were doing in the past on their website. I think if you're a DJ and you have shows, don't be like me, and what you should do is put your shows on your website.
Okay. So artist websites still matter.
I think so, yeah. For that
Cool.
case, for that thing, yeah.
Everyone who's listening right now in the live stream, thank you for participating again. It was a busy one. It's getting busier and busier every week. We had, and at the top, we had 15 watching live.
Hey, double digits.
Growing, slowly but steady. So people have a great day, and we see you guys next week.
The new coach. But it's cool because Luke has been doing this for so long, and it's like it's a cool thing. I don't know, I don't even know how he does it. But
Oh, true.
Bassjackers does it like this: the B,
Like
B, and then the jackers.
Yeah. No.
yeah. Okay, everyone. See you next week.
Make sure to like this episode.
Oh,
subscribe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To
Leave a
YouTube,
comment.
Leave a comment.
Share it with your
Rate this
friend.
episode. Give it a heart. We will be very helped. Reach out to sponsors and tell them we want.
we need new mics. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, guys. See you next week. Bye bye.